Hello, Mr. Piano Tutor here. It looks like it's a very nice day today. Nice Texas weather today. But I'm actually getting ready to go into this barber shop. My hair's looking crazy right now. Yeah. But anyway, before I go into the shop, I thought I'd leave you with 5 tips for musicians, beginners, intermediate, uh, pretty much whoever. But I want to leave 5 tips uh, with knowing all your keys. I want to leave you with 5 tips on that. First tip is key signatures. Key signatures is like the first thing you should know within knowing all your keys. Because once you understand key signatures, it's going to become much easier for you to figure out all the chords and everything, all the chords and runs and scales within all your keys. Second tip, scales. I don't know how much I can push or stress that, but scales are very important. Um, you know, a lot of people, especially musicians, I've heard this so many times. If you can play scales, you can play anything, which in most cases are true, but it also comes along with putting in the hard work and practicing. And so then, yeah, that's pretty much second uh, tips, knowing all your scales. Third tip, what I'll put for a third tip. Third tip is memorizing or memorize memory. Memorizing everything. Uh, uh, have a good memory with all the chords, especially when you start in most your first keys you learn is like C, F, G, B flat, or whatever. Once you figure out what those chords are, uh, when you start learning in A or D, uh, you know, once you figure out that whatever the chords are in that key, just memorize. Even sometimes if you got to start out writing them out, just make sure you memorize it because it'll become easy. So that's the third tip. Fourth tip is to listen. Fourth tip is to listen, and what I mean by listen is uh, uh, basically ear training or training your ears to listen and um, hear the chord or hearing the melody. Sometimes singing helps help with a lot of musicians singing a note because once you can sing it, you can pretty much hear it. So it's best to be able to do that, to listen, and knowing by listening uh, for each key. That will also help, if you're in a setting, especially like a church setting, you know, when it comes to somebody that may sing, or somebody may sing out of nowhere, and they'll sing in a completely different key that you was already playing in. So um, when you get to that type of situation, once you have worked and made progress into that exercise or that practice of being able to listen and hear, that will come much easier for you, especially if you don't have perfect pitch or anything like that. So listening that's the fourth tip. Fifth tip is practice. Practice. Don't always tend to practice in keys you already know. Work on if your weakness is A, then practice in A. If your weakness is D, then practice in D. This also can help when you playing in service and you playing like talk music or music before service. Don't play in A flat, play in A, or don't play in D flat, play in D. Sometimes somebody may sing in that key, but go ahead and challenge yourself to play in that key. So those are the 5 tips. And you know what? I'm gonna leave one more tip, and this is a bonus. Whatever you do, do not, and I repeat, do not transpose. Especially for if this is for beginners, beginner musicians, and you start to play and you don't have all your keys. Do not transpose because later on that will really become a bad habit, and there are points in times where you may end up playing at a service that you may not have your keyboard. It may just be an organ, a B3 organ, not a digital, just a B3 organ where you can't transpose and you have to play in whatever key that person sings in, and you don't know that key that would not make you look good at all. So do not transpose, um, and that's basically all the tips. And hopefully this has been a good lesson to you. But